Hello, I'm a baby, and I am always, well, I've been starting a lot of my vlogs from bed. Look at my hand out of the way. I've been starting a lot of my vlogs from bed lately. It is Saturday, I think April 20th. Forgive, you just have to forgive me if that's the wrong date. I'll put it on the screen. But today I am reading this book right here. I'm reading I always mix this up so hard because the name is so similar. Edith Wharton's Ethan Frome. And that's pretty much what you're going to be seeing. Um, this month has just been so lackadaisical in my reading. I have really only read 4 books this month. 4 books. Crazy, crazy, crazy. This will be the 5th one. But maybe by the end of the month, I will have read 6. Maybe. That is a huge, huge, big, fat old maybe. I really have been slowing down this year so far with my reading. It's literally just been less and less and less every month since January because I don't know, I guess I've been feeling a little bit bogged down with all the reading that I do, which I plan to talk about that in a video soon. But yeah, I've been feeling a little bit bogged down, feeling like I'm biting off a little bit too much, a little bit more than I can chew. And it has gotten to a point a little bit where it's like I don't even feel like reading, or I don't even feel like listening to audiobooks. So I'm just trying to keep things at a kind of even pace, and I'm kind of allowing myself just to take breaks when I need to. Obviously, I still need to be reading something in order to make content. If I don't really feel like reading, I won't read. You know what I mean? Or I'll read like a little bit, I'll read a few chapters, and I won't beat myself up if I'm not finishing 2 and 3 books a week, because that is just something that sometimes is just not doable. It's just not possible. I'll make videos about these things coming here soon, but Ethan Frome, Edith Wharton, that's what I'm reading.
Realize it's going down until like you just kind of look at it for a minute and then you're like, oh wait, shit, it's going down. Wait.
Yeah. Good morning. It's Sunday, April 22nd, I think. I did not finish Edith Frome yesterday. I'll try to finish it today. I am on chapter 2. As a little update, it's about Ethan Frome. And right now we are taking a look at his life not early, but definitely earlier in the narrative than where the book begins, where he's having some issues with his wife because his wife is sickly, and she invited a younger female family member to come help out, and Ethan is interested in her, for lack of a better term, or to put it mildly, he's interested in her. Her name is Maddie Silver. And so that's as far as I've gotten right now. It's very simple, very easy to read. I've had to like kind of look up a few definitions for a few words, but it's really been pretty easy to read, understand, and get through. And that's what I really love about some of the American proofs, American writers, is that the proofs is very simple but still very profound and very intelligent, and while managing to be easy to follow. It's really nice and it's refreshing, and the descriptions in this book. I mean, this is my goal as a writer, is to be this descriptive, is to be like some sort of sorcerer with a freaking keyboard in front of me, because the writing, it's so vivid in the descriptions of the environment. It's winter, there's lots of snow, it's in New England, and I was falling asleep last night and I was just thinking about this story. I was thinking about the environment and like picturing it in my head, and I it's amazing that somebody has the skill to be able to paint a picture like that. So yeah, that's just my little update. I'm gonna head to Starbucks now, so that I can upload today's video, and then also just have a shaken espresso and read a little bit. So yeah. Hey, a local hippie here. And I'm here to end out the vlog. I am on chapter 2. I'm in the middle of chapter 2 of Ethan Frome. And I don't know if I'm gonna finish it today. I might, but I'm liking it so much that I kind of just want to take my time with it. To the point of not wanting to rush it, even though it's a shorter book. Could possibly finish it today, could finish it tomorrow, who knows? But like I said, I don't want to rush it because it's so good. Okay, so let me preface this by saying we start out the book with a separate person. It's a third person narrator, but the narrator is like observing Ethan Frome and wanting to figure out who he is, and he is getting these little nuggets of information about Ethan, because for some reason by Ethan's visage, it struck a chord of interest in the narrator, and so he is trying to figure out what this man is all about, because he seems a very mysterious, very interesting person. And like, I guess we could all relate to that, having or seeing that person who has a sort of like it factor, a sort of magnetism about them, and that magnetism could be linked to the mystery of not knowing like who they are, this mystique of just wondering like what's going through their head, and like why it's going through their head, and like why they are who they are. And so that's how we start the book. And this person is wanting to know these different things about him and about Ethan, and is asking around town, inquiring about Ethan. And that's where we start out. And then that's like the prologue, if you will, is this person asking around about Ethan until they're put in a situation where they get to be with Ethan. They get to be with the man of the hour himself, to do travel back and forth to work every day of the week. Because Ethan has fallen upon hard times. He's had a very hard life, and he's in want for some money. And this person can provide that while Ethan is providing a service for them. Or the service of, transporting them every single day. And at first there's like very little communication. Ethan is very withdrawn, very quiet, but not in a bad way, not in an arrogant or in a haughty, I'm better than you mean kind of way. It's in a very just calm, just very maybe deep in thought kind of way. But then slowly but surely Ethan begins to open up. So we get a little bit of forced proximity, closeness going on there. And that's what we get in the prologue. And then when we get into the story, we still have a third person narrator, but we're focusing more on Ethan himself. This third person narrator, instead of following that third person that was in the prologue, the person that's trying to figure out who Ethan is. We are now following Ethan himself. And I believe it's years in the past so that we have an idea of what brought Ethan to the place that he was at in the prologue, in the present time. The writing again is so simplistic, but it's so beautiful. And he has this sort of relationship. I don't really want to say a relationship, but he has feelings for young Maddie Silver. I think I mentioned her earlier, who came to take care of his ill wife, Xena. He has feelings for her. These complex feelings of like, I shouldn't feel this way, but I do. To end the video, I want to read this quote from Ethan Frome. The fact that he had no right to show his feelings and thus provoke the expression of hers made him attach a fantastic importance to every change in her look and tone. Now he thought she understood him and feared. Now he was sure she did not and despaired. Tonight the pressure of accumulated misgivings sent the scale drooping toward despair, and her indifference was more chilling after the flush of joy into which she had plunged him dismissing Dennis Eady. I think that was such a concise but also accurate description of how complex human emotions can be, especially when it pertains to love and falling in love with someone, especially when you know you shouldn't be falling in love with them. You know it's not the right thing to do, and you know you shouldn't have these feelings, but you do. And it's like, how do you deal with this? I appreciate an author who can humanize something like that, because you know what? It's wrong, but it's so real, and it happens, and it's something that needs to be dealt with when it happens, if it happens. That's what essentially is happening here. Like, he's trying to deal with this, and maybe he's going to do it the right way, maybe he's going to do it the wrong way, but he's trying to deal with it. And I think that that's just so realistic and simply beautiful, the way that it's put on the paper. And so, yes, that's going to bring us to the end of the vlog. I am going to do a review of Ethan Frome, because, like I said, the writing is just so simplistic and so easy to follow. But also, that doesn't take away from how profound of reading it can be. And so, yeah, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good evening. And most importantly, I hope you read a good book. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.